Greetings everyone, and welcome to another CLG unboxing. Today, we're going to take a look at these bad boys. Just got these in the mail, so I figured let's open them up together and take a look at them. So, what are we looking at here? Wargames Atlantic just produced a new line, or beginning to produce a new line, starting basically with these called Pulp Adventure. Basically your kind of post-apocalyptic sci-fi-esque type things, but Wargames Atlantic doing what they do best, coming out with some multi-kits that are used for multiple games across multiple game systems. I have their skeletons that I use for Frostgrave and a couple other things that are pretty cool. So they announced these a few months ago. They just started releasing and shipping them. You can find these on their site for $39.95 a piece. You get a 30 multi-part hard plastic 28mm figures. So got a box of zombies. Let's take a look at what actually is all included in this, and then we will open it up. So, here we go. Brains. And I won't read through everything, but basically, as you can see here, this comes with all kinds of heads and parts to do ancient Rome, Dark Ages, Viking period, 18th century, Napoleonic, cowboys, some World War II stuff, some modern heads, and enough regular zombie heads for all, so if you just want to do regular. So I bought these with the intent of we're going to start doing some kind of Pulp Fiction stuff around the holiday, whether we do it as bolt action and use zombies, or we use fistful lead, whatever it may be. But again, with all the different options, you can really kind of make these shine, apparently, for multiple different game systems. Now what I'm curious to take a look at is exactly, it's great to have all these different heads, but how do they do the bodies? Obviously they're zombies, so we're probably dealing with a lot of rags and that kind of stuff, but what do they all look like at different things? So let's open this bad boy up and see what's actually in here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sprues with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bodies on it. 6 times 5 is the 30 they promised, so I'm assuming all sprues are the same. Okay, so here we have a sprue, and we're going to take a look closer and see exactly what's in this, and hopefully the wood grain of my table doesn't get too much in the way. So first of all, we have, so first we should start with Wargames Atlantic does not provide any bases for any of their box sets that I've ever come across, so you need your own bases. They're pretty much everywhere now. You can get MDF bases. We use a company called Proxy Models. It's right here in Pennsylvania that has hard plastic, all different size. But these also fit really well on just the bolt action 25mm basing that you can get. So I just have a bunch of those extras sitting around. So to start with that, now we're looking at the actual zombies here. One single hard plastic for legs, torsos. Arms are separate, heads are separate. So you got 5 different shambling models per, or what did I say, 6 different, I'm sorry. Some of them look pretty similar, it's just one leg forward versus the other leg forward, but not too bad there. We have rows of arms, so you can put on different arms. From doing a quick look at them, I do not see anything as far as holding anything in their hands. Well, nope, I take that back. We got one arm here. It looks like it's holding some flesh that it's gnawing on. But other than that, they're basic arms. Some of them have sleeves. Some of them don't. They're just bare arms. Some of them have some bandages. So when you're pairing them up, it's probably good to look at how you're doing that. But of course, because they're rags, you don't really care too much if one arm has a sleeve and the other doesn't. You can make it work, and it looks like they'd all fit pretty well on this. So let's get into what we were all really worrying about, or what I'm worrying about anyway, which are the heads. I'm going to try to actually have some good pictures posted if this video doesn't show that well. But we have all kinds of zombie heads. A row here, a row with some blank here. It looks like these are... Is that a Italian head? Do these have Italians in them? British, Germans, and French. Maybe French. Some Napoleonic heads. We got... Oh, those are actually really cool Napoleonic heads. We got some tricorners. We got some cowboys. We got all kinds of heads with these. So you can really have a ball with how you're going to make these work. Cowboys would be really cool. Do some What a Cowboy with some zombies charging forward. That would be pretty cool. And then enough bear heads, like it said, to just do regular zombie heads all the way through if that's what you want to do. But the shining, again, the shining part of this is really just the variants of zombie heads that you see that you can have on here, which is really cool to do what all you kind of want to do. So these are just straight, again, zombies as far as the bodies go and their hands go, so just kind of a shambling horde. There's another company that you think I would be prepared and have in front of me that I can kind of show you there. I bought a box of their zombies stuff. They have zombie peasants, which all have like pitchforks and all that kind of stuff in their hands. I'll probably post a picture of it up. I actually haven't even opened them. I've opened them up. I haven't even really built them a little bit. I had some ideas for some... I think I was going to use those for Frostgrave for a large type scale battle that I had. But these work as just generic zombies, it looks like. So what we're going to do is, in the magic of editing, you're going to see these painted up right away. I'm going to get some of these assembled, get them primed and painted, and we're going to show you what these actually look like once they're put together. Because again, they should go pretty easy because it's just zombies and rags. So I want to figure out what type of good pallid flesh type thing I can use. Army Paint has a really good, I think it's called Grime, is one of their speed paints. That with some pallid flesh on top of it, maybe. Gonna mess around with that. I've never really messed around with zombie skin tones a little bit. Never got into them in some of the old game systems, so we'll see. But yeah, there we go. So again, all the sprues are exactly the same. You get 5 sprues with all this stuff. So lots of options you can do. Kits like this always kind of bother me in one sense because I'm going to have so many zombie heads left over that are really cool, but not enough bodies to do anything with them. But that's to be expected. That's how these sets work. And I got a buddy who's really into Napoleonics, and he was talking about doing some fun kind of Halloween-esque Pulp Fiction type event with them around that time. So that is pretty awesome. So yes, so again, this part of it's real quick. We're going to show you what they look like here, painted and assembled. But Pulp Adventure, zombies. Let's get them assembled. Alright, and here we are with a sample of these zombies all painted up. I had 6 I was going to do because there's 6 on the sprue, but I did a bunch as a German guy, so I just want to show off a couple of these. So here's some examples of how you can put these things together, and we're going to take a look here and actually focus in on these guys specifically. So here we did a couple of Germans up using the German helmets. Very simple paint job on these. I just kind of kept them ghastly, kind of gray. Kept them with kind of the gray uniforms, just dirtied them up pretty good. So you can see what I want to show is, again, so the arms, you can kind of do a bunch of different poses on them. There are sets, so when you're putting them together, you can tell like outstretched arms or however you want to do them. So I did just kind of as, these are the kind of like shambling forward type horde. Nice screaming mouths on them. Kept them, these two I kept very basic and simple. Let's take a look at what I did next. This was one of the Viking heads. So you can see the helmet kind of just graded up or rusted it up a little bit. Did kind of paint up the mouth a little bit on them. Did some kind of open swords. Very basic colors on them for them being Viking. Again, kind of a paler color. I wanted to do up just a normal one here. And I say normal just in kind of, as they call it, like modern clothes. Well, all the clothes are, again, I should just say a plain helmet. Again, because the clothing is all just tatters on these, you can kind of paint them up however you want. So again, modern clothing, I kept these a little cleaner simply because they're, you know, they're modern day. So, you know, fresh zombies, if you will. with some sores, a little bit of blood stuff going on. I gave this one kind of a nice greener hue to it as well. But you can see like the details of all the sores and everything like that really pop out nicely. Whether you paint them up that way or just kind of keep them as rotting flesh underneath it, or just as I did with the zombies, just all gray. And then of course you got to have a cowboy zombie. And this one I gave even a greener hue to it. You can actually see some fuzz on there. Don't mind that. I'll have to get that cleaned off. I just sprayed coated these today, so that must have got stuck on there with the grass. Kept them all just kind of like dead grass. But again, the whole point of these is you can see in the arms. I want to bring back the modern day zombie one. It's kind of like the standard like creeping zombie pose, right? With them kind of their arms kind of all crooked and shambling forward. This one kind of outstretched, ready to go type of deal. So most of the arms, you can see the way the rags and tatters are on these, that if you have some arms that have clothing, they match up really well. So there's no right or wrong way to do the arms, which is kind of cool. They're all just kind of shambling. And then of course, the good old Western cowboy hat on him. Kept his clothes pretty simple. So again, these paint up really nicely. From what I'm seeing, what you get in a box compared to other zombie models, these are great to throw together really quickly. They're sturdy plastic. Again, they don't give you bases, so you gotta make sure you have basing for them. But in the end, I would probably buy, if I was doing a massive horde zombie game, I would probably buy a bunch of these. Now, you have enough modern heads to do all of them. Like if I was going to do all German heads, you don't really, maybe not have enough to do the whole box, but you can kind of mix and match a little bit here. Same thing with the Viking. But like if you're doing like a mass zombie game, you could easily mix and match these. And again, the cool thing about zombies is, they could be corpses of any time period. So to mix a cowboy hat with a bunch of modern guys, and wouldn't be that big of a thing because they're popping up from graveyards everywhere. But yeah, I think I really like these plastic kits for what you pay for them. And now they're all sliding because I'm tilting that too much. I really like what you pay for them. I like the fact that it's just arms and heads and that they paint up very easily. If you're looking for some more specific detailed zombies, maybe these aren't the way to go. But again, if you're doing on horde zombies, these are a great addition. So there you go. That's a real quick and dirty review of what this box set is like. Again, I know Wargames Atlantic is going to be extending their line of these, not so much the zombies, but just other box sets that kind of go with this sci-fi type theme. Wargames Atlantic does a really good job with that. They're in the process of expanding their like medieval knights and foot peasants and all that kind of stuff for that whole line. So I've always liked Wargames Atlantic as an alternative to kind of mix and match. Again, I have some other zombies up here, up in the in my game room that I can mix and match these in with to give me that kind of horde feel. So, yeah, there you go. Let me know if there's any other zombie line out there that you like that's kind of quick and easy and works for what you're using it for. The obligatory like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Maybe next fall we'll see some things doing with you're using these guys in around the Halloween time. I have some ideas for some thematic Halloween games for different time periods. And I'm looking at running some kids events. And what better thing than a good Halloween zombie game for getting kids into the hobby. So we'll see how that all goes. But yeah, there we go. There is my real quick, and I say real quick and I keep rambling, but real quick unboxing and thoughts on the product line for Wargames Atlantic Zombies.